my name is Rhea Reed, and today I'll be giving a persuasive discussion over helmet choice. Now, in 2018, Texas passed a law requiring that any student or any person under the age of 21 is required to wear a helmet. Now, with this being said, not everybody was very happy about the law. There were certain dates that were, when they were passed, people were grandfathered in, similar to the Tobacco to 21 Act. But still, many people were not happy about it. There became requirements and deadlines for registrations and insurances and everything like that. You have to have 3 different types of certifications when it comes to riding without a helmet in certain states. and others. You just have to wear a helmet, period, per law. And it's required if you're caught without a helmet and you're under the age of 21 or you do not have the proper insurance, you're given a fine. And if it is a repetitive fine, you're basically put in jail for a day or 2. Now in 2018 when this law came out, not only did you have to be above the age of 21, but you had to have full coverage on your insurance, full liability coverage. Helmets are supposedly supposed to protect from impact, to protect your neck and your head and keep you from busting it open or breaking it or what have you. And there's quite a few controversies, whether it be from Ohio University, Oklahoma University, or even Harvard, where they've been disproving this theory. Harvard disproved the theory in 2017 before the law was passed. 62% of all accidents, regardless of wearing a helmet or not, were resulting in death. Helmets protect you once. They have one impact and they're done. So if you're doing flips and spins and you're consistently hitting your head, there's really no protection, because a helmet, the padding inside of a helmet, the structural design, is only built to withstand one impact. And you can hit the ground at 75 miles per hour and you have 60,000 joules hitting the floor with you behind it. And this is going to be repetitive because you move until you stop. In the state of Texas, when they passed this law, the biggest controversy was the weather. It's been known to get up to triple digits in the state of Texas. And while this can be a benefit, and while helmets do have structural relief for these types of situations, it's just not enough. Sweat will pour down your eyes and your face in general, and it's just a nasty disaster waiting to happen. Now, looking at the option of wearing a helmet or not, in multiple surveys taken in Oklahoma, many of the riders there were opposed to wearing a helmet simply because of the weather, and it just takes away from the ride. Everybody that rides a motorcycle because they don't want it to be like just rolling your window down in a car. They want the freedom of feeling the wind rush through your hair, potentially getting hit by a bug in the face. I mean, it's an anxiety. It's not necessarily an anxiety rush, but it's a rush for sure. There's always the questions of what if, and there's either ors. You never know what could happen, and it could always be you. But in many statistical cases, helmets have proven to be non-effective. And in Oklahoma University's incident, when they disproved this theory, many of the helmet collisions, like I said previously, 64% result in death regardless. A controversy to that is that it all just depends on where you hit and how hard you hit, because whether it be on the cement, there's nothing protecting you aside from this helmet and maybe a jacket or a shirt. You're basically left wide open and vulnerable. But it is realistically a choice, because if I want to ride a bike, I'm already accepting the knowledge base and the risk that comes with it in riding it, because I know it's not as safe as riding a car. I myself am a motorcycle owner and rider. With this being said, I do understand the risks that come with it. I do understand that at any point in time, I could be taken out, I could fall off my bike, I could get hit. There's a lot of risks that come with riding a motorcycle, because not everybody sees you, and wearing a helmet's not going to change that. You can get sideswiped from anywhere, whether it be at an intersection, in a curve, and get hit by a drunk driver. It's the same risks that come with a car. It's just you're not as protected. But with this being said, it is a choice, because I already am acknowledging those risks. Now the helmet structure, you're given 2 vents in your front face and a vent on the top of your head. I don't know if any of you have ever worn a helmet or not, but it gets hot. The only trick and loophole that comes with this law is that it does not have to be a full face helmet. It has to be at minimum a half helmet, which just covers the top half of your head. But there's really no point in wearing a helmet if you're just going to wear a half helmet. Not only do they look stupid in popular opinion, they're also the least selling type of helmet on the market entirely. Many riders will stick with modular helmets, or they'll stick with 3/4 helmets, which just doesn't have the face mask, but you are still required to wear goggles of some form to protect your eyes. But helmet structure is everything, especially in the state of Texas. It gets hot, it gets cold, it gets windy. Texas is bipolar and menopausal in many ways. But realistically, with this being said, nobody wants to wear a full body leather jacket, full body leather pants, and a full helmet. Nobody wants it. You don't look good, you don't smell good, and it's just overall a disaster. There's no appeasing side to it. You have this unbearable weight on your head if you're going on long hauls. I mean, nobody wants that. Now, granted, you do have to have all these different certifications, and like in the state of Oklahoma, how they don't have a helmet law. Everybody that does not wear a helmet is required to have three rider course requirements. They have to take a basic rider's course, a medium rider's course, and a master's rider's course. An advanced and then a master's. And these requirements are expensive, and it is just as expensive as taking a vehicle test or just testing out for your license in general. It's insanely expensive and ridiculous. But the downside to that is that you have to learn so much within 3 days for each class. And you have to be able to prove that you're an accredited rider and that you know what you're doing. And bikes can do a lot of things, but riding a helmet is for sure not the best part of it, because it just takes away the adrenaline rush that comes with riding. It turns it into riding a car. And that's why I really honestly feel like wearing a helmet should be pro-choice, because we already acknowledge the risk that comes with riding a motorcycle. But that's a debate for another day.